It happened when I was 13. My cousin Daniel had just moved into an old two-story farmhouse that his parents bought cheap. That summer, we'd spend every weekend there, running through the tall grass and playing hide and seek in the creaky house that smelled faintly of dust and old wood. One stormy night, the power went out. The adults were upstairs with candles, so Daniel, his little sister Emma, and I decided to play hide and seek in the dark. Daniel insisted I be it first. He handed me his phone flashlight and said, "Count to 10 in the living room, then find us." I turned to the wall and started counting out loud. 1, 2, 3. I could hear the faint scuffling of feet as they ran off to hide. At 10, I opened my eyes. The beam from the flashlight flickered slightly as thunder rolled. The house was eerily silent. I called out, "Ready or not, here I come." I checked behind curtains, under tables, even inside the old pantry. Nothing. Eventually, I noticed the basement door was slightly open. I don't remember hearing anyone go down there, but maybe Daniel wanted to freak me out. The air got colder as I descended the narrow steps. My light caught on the edges of old furniture draped in sheets. "Daniel?" I whispered. No answer, just the faint hum of something electrical. Then, I heard breathing, steady, low, and close. I froze, sweeping the flashlight around. That's when I saw someone standing in the far corner, half hidden behind a water heater. A tall shape, way too tall to be Daniel. The person stepped out slowly, barefoot, wearing dirty clothes that hung loose on their frame. Their face was pale and stretched into a strange grin. "You found me," they said softly. I stumbled back, my flashlight shaking. "Daniel," I screamed. Footsteps pounded above me. My cousin burst through the door with his dad, both holding lights. When they reached the bottom, the corner was empty. No one was there. We searched the basement top to bottom, nothing. The police came later that night after Daniel's dad reported it. They found a small crawl space behind the heater filled with blankets, food wrappers, and a half-empty water bottle. Someone had been living down there. I never went back to that house. But sometimes when I can't sleep, I still hear that voice whisper, "You found me." When I was 15, my best friend Tessa invited me for a sleepover at her new house. It was one of those new suburban builds, clean, modern, with echoing hallways. Her little brother loved playing hide and seek, so before bed, we played one quick round. Tessa was it. I ran upstairs looking for a spot. Every door in the hallway looked the same, so I slipped into one of the bedrooms and hid in the closet. It smelled like paint and carpet glue. I crouched low, holding my breath. After a minute, I heard the door creak open. Someone stepped inside. The faint sound of giggling came from the other end of the closet, soft, childish giggling. "Gotcha," I whispered, crawling toward the sound. But as I reached the end, the giggling stopped. I pulled back a hanging coat, and there was no one there. Then I heard it again right behind me, a whisper of laughter brushing my ear. I bolted out of the closet and crashed into Tessa coming up the stairs. She looked at me confused. "Where were you?" I never even came upstairs. We told her parents, who searched the rooms but found nothing. Later that night, as we were lying in bed, a single loud knock came from the closet door. Then, a slow, dragging giggle followed it. The next morning, Tessa's parents found small handprints on the inside of the closet wall, too small for her brother, and too dark, as if made from ash. They moved out a month later. Back in college, we used to sneak into the abandoned dorms near campus to mess around. They were set for demolition, but still standing dark, empty, echoing places that felt frozen in time. One night, 6 of us decided to play hide and seek there. It was around midnight, and the place was pitch black except for the flashlights on our phones. We set one rule: no hiding on the top floor, it was unstable. I was the seeker first. As I counted against the peeling wall, I could hear the others scattering through the building. When I turned, the air felt thick, like the building itself was holding its breath. I found 2 people quickly, Dan and Chloe behind the front desk. Another was crouched under a broken table. But after 30 minutes, 2 people were still missing, Jason and Emily. We started calling out. Nothing. The only sound was wind whistling through the broken windows. Finally, I heard footsteps from upstairs. "Jason?" I called. No reply. I climbed to the top floor despite the rule. My flashlight flickered as I reached the last hallway. There was a door slightly open at the end. I pushed it and saw someone facing the corner of the room. Long black hair, gray hoodie. Emily, what are you doing? No answer. She didn't move, just stood there breathing. When I stepped closer, the figure suddenly turned, only it wasn't Emily. The face was wrong, pale, hollow eyes that reflected the light like animal eyes. I ran. The others found me outside, shaking. The police investigated when the demolition team later found a human skeleton sealed behind a wall on that same floor. No one knows who it was, but since that night, every time I walk past that part of campus, I swear I still hear someone counting softly in the dark. 8, 9, 10. Ready or not?